Before I give my sermon, I'd like to read the Bible and True Parents' words. Today's Bible reading is Romans chapter 9, verse 19 through 24. One of you will say to me, "Then why does God still blame us? For who is able to resist his will? But who are you, a human being, to talk back to God? Shall what is formed to say to the one who formed it, 'Why did you make me like this?' Does not the potter have the right to make out of the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use? What if God, although choosing to show his wrath and make his power known, bore with a great patience the objects of his wrath, prepared for destruction? What if he did this to make the riches of his glory known to the objects of his mercy, whom he prepared in advance for glory, even as whom he also called not only from the Jews, but also from the Gentiles?" Next one is True Parents' words. This is from 천성경, page 1215, number 8. "You do not know how hard it was for me to establish God's Day. The time leading up to the inauguration of God's Day was the most difficult time. Although I had established Parents' Day until I had established Children's Day to underpin Parents' Day could not accomplish the role of Parents' Day. By the same token, although I had established Children's Day until I had established the Day of all things, Children's Day could not take up its responsibility as Children's Day. Therefore, God's Day, Parents' Day, Children's Day, and the Day of all things have to become completely one and be under the dominion of God. The fact that this has not yet been achieved is reason for us to lament. God's Day, which was proclaimed worldwide on the first day of the first month of 1968, will be fully established when it is connected to these major holy days." Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy True Heavenly Parent Day.
Yes, amen.
And Happy New Year again in the heavenly calendar. Actually, in the Pacific time, the real true Heavenly Parent Day will be tomorrow. But in Korea, already February 8th, Monday. So we can celebrate this holiday today on Sunday according to the Korean time.
Amen.
As you know, this is the 49th anniversary of True Heavenly Parent Day. True Parents had proclaimed this day in 1968 on the foundation of True Parents Day in 1960, True Children's Day in 1960, and Day of All True Things in 1968. This means True God's Day, True Heavenly Parent Day is the climax of all these special days. God lost everything due to the fall of man. So throughout the history of providence restoration, God had to restore all the lost days. Brothers and sisters, today I'd like to share some words with you on the title of Beginning is Half Done. 시작이 반이다. Now, we have another New Year's Day in heavenly calendar. Whenever we start the new year, we make new plans and New Year's resolution. In the secular world, it is usually something like, okay, no matter what happens, I will quit smoking and drinking, or I will start a special diet to get into shape, etc. But first, we have to thank God for the new day, new week, new month, and new year. Thank Him for another new day 24 hours later, and another new week 7 days later, and a new month 30 or 31 days later, and a new year after 12 months. Time has a constant cycle, so it repeats over and over again. If we did not have such a cycle, once we make a wrong decision, even if we want to change it with the right direction, decision, we would not be able to find the right time to change it. Once I start my life in the wrong direction, from when can I change myself? But I have tomorrow, next week, next month, and new years to change myself. How great it is. But as you know, the most important thing is my will to change. Brothers and sisters, today my sermon title is Beginning is Half Done. What does that mean? Actually, I heard this word from True Father when I was in Bridgeport, Connecticut in 2001 during the True Parents 50-state speaking tour in the United States. I was assigned to Bridgeport, Connecticut as a regional director in 2000. At the time, because of the University of Bridgeport, we had some church members and second-generation students there, but no ACLC foundation. When True Parents visited Bridgeport, Connecticut, I had to report to them the overall situation as a regional director. Until that time, I had never done anything like it before. Usually, reporting to True Parents was always elder leader's job, not mine as second generation. But when it suddenly became my job, I was so nervous. What should I report to True Parents? While waiting outside of True Parents' VIP room to report, I was struggling a lot because I had nothing special to please True Parents. Compared to other regions, Connecticut had no foundation of ACLC. Moreover, just the thought of reporting to True Parents made me so nervous. My legs started to tremble like a leaf. So, when I tried to strengthening my legs to avoid showing the trembling to others, my whole body began to tremble. See. But when I stood up in front of True Parents, I honestly reported the region's situation. At the moment, my leg stopped trembling. And I found my tranquility in front of True Parents. At the time, True Father told me just one thing. Beginning is half done. 시작이 반이다. Do you know what this means? This phrase comes from a Korean proverb, which I think has two meanings. The first one being that well begun is half done, or a good start is half the battle. What does it mean? When people begin something, it is very rare for them to begin it with no preparation. For example, if people want to start a business, they may worry about the future possibilities of their business. Moreover, it is very natural that they examine basic feasibility studies for their business too. Then, once they have the confidence for success, they will be able to start their business. But even after this kind of process, nobody can guarantee their success, right? However, the more thoroughly they prepare their business, the less risk they will face. So in reality, the first half is automatically completed through this process of restoration, preparation, right? The second meaning behind this proverb, I think, is he who hesitates is lost. In other words, it means don't miss the perfect opportunity because you are being too careful. But instead, challenge it boldly. True Father said, many people failed after much thinking, but no one ever failed by practice. Aju? Why did True Father tell me this? I'm sure True Father wanted to encourage me to overcome all the difficulties and challenges around me, as if to say, don't be disappointed at your small foundation. Dream big and practice it. Once you start it, half of the work is already done. So all that remains for you to do is to complete the other half. Today's Bible reading is a metaphor of a potter. In this passage, the potter is God, and the clay is human beings. According to the Bible passage, God has the right over human beings to make them special and ordinary. That's why, because of this Bible passage, many theologians insist on absolute predestination. Absolute predestination means that, regardless of our effort, success and failure of my life depends solely on what God has already planned for us. If this is true, then there is no room for human endeavor and will. Through this Bible passage, we are able to receive two meanings. First, because in the Bible, human beings are compared to clay, they are not original human beings, but fallen man who cannot complain about their destiny to God, the potter. Second, When we look into the reason why these pots are divided into special and ordinary use, we realize that it is not because the potter chooses to do this, but because of the clay itself or the pot's defect. Clay is just undecided material, but according to the quality of that material, its result can be different. The material of a kimchi pot cannot be the same with that of porcelain. Therefore, decisive cause for my future is not only God's choice, but my present quality as well. My character, ability, disposition, and so on. 50% is already decided by them. But no matter how great of a quality they may have, in order to make good porcelain, they need to undergo a certain adequate process, that is to say, effort. When we look into the process of making porcelain, we can understand it is not simple. First, a potter has to knead the clay with his or her feet for a whole day. I had that experience during the summer season. I knead the clay whole day with my feet, sweating a lot. And then he has to knead it continuously with his hands to prevent any air bubbles from getting between the granules of clay, because it can form a crack on the porcelain when fired in an oven. It takes time. After that, he shapes the dough for porcelain, puts in the fire, glazes it, and puts it back in the fire again. However, not all porcelain that goes through this process can be special. During the baking process, if there is any sort of crack on them, they will be abandoned. Likewise, if we want to be a special pot, we have to keep our purity and beauty, and we have to draw out any air of arrogance, greed, complaint, etc. And we have to endure the rough and difficult process of the flames. Brothers and sisters, if we have to pass through such a difficult process to make a small pot, then we must pass through much more to accomplish the completion of our character. Without any effort and devotion, can it be done automatically? No. Absolutely no. Of course, when you make a pot, quality of material is important. But the most important thing is how suitable it is to the original purpose and intention of the people who need them. No matter how precious a porcelain we may have, if what I need is a kimchi pot, it will be useless. if we can perfectly fulfill what God expects of us. It doesn't matter whether my mission is special or not. There is no distinction between special and ordinary. Look at this offering table. So many members came and they prepared one by one. Look, it looks ordinary, but giving a sermon looks special. What is different? Nothing different. Everybody is important, right? Brothers and sisters, now we stand on the starting line. Nobody can predict our future result. But the most important thing is that only our effort and utmost devotion can guarantee our have done. Now, most of us must make our new resolution and plan for the new year. Are you still not sure whether you can do it or not? Are you still hesitating to practice it right away? In a Korean proverb, we say, tap even a stone bridge before crossing it. The English counterpart is to look before you leave. But now, the time has come to cross the bridge. Leave after you look. Many people failed after much thinking, but no one ever failed by practice. Now it's time to practice. Aju? Thank you very much. God bless you all. Please join me in prayer. 사랑하시는 하늘 부모님, 거룩하신 천주 평화의 왕 천지인 참 부모님, the most beloved heavenly parent and holy true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, thank you so much for giving us these wonderful holidays. Thanks to True Parents Victorious Foundation, now we are celebrating True Heavenly Parent Day, True Parents Birthday, and Foundation Day. Heavenly Parent, we know that in Korea, centering on True Mother, official ceremonies of these special holidays will be held at Cheonjeonggung. In order to join this celebration, we prepared an offering table here, and we offer our heart and cheongsong to God and True Parents. Please accept our heart and cheongsong. In order to restore these special holidays, God and True Parents had to sacrifice a lot and endure tremendous pains. How can we thank you enough with our poor offerings? Please forgive our lack of cheongsong and practice. Heavenly Parent, now we just started the Cheonilguk 4th year. Thank you so much for giving us new days, new weeks, new months, and new years. All of us, all of our brothers and sisters made their own resolution and plan for new years. Please bless their resolution and plan. True Father said, beginning is half done. We are not going to hesitate anymore with this new resolution. We will practice it boldly. Please bless us, guide us, and be with us. Once we start it, we only have to do just the other half. Thank you so much for giving us this time. I'm offering this report in the name of Youngtaek Yang and Jeongju Yang, a Blessed Central family. Aju. Thank you very much.
Amen. Aju, let's again thank Reverend Young for God's Day message today, Heavenly Parents' Day.